Hi, neighbors. Welcome to Season 3 of the Stoners Nextdoor with the King and Queen of Mayhem, Aaron and Maul. Remember to kickstart your weekend here every Friday with a curated critique of some of the craziest posts by your next-door neighbors from around the country.
This is Aaron.
And I'm Maul. Welcome to the Halloween edition of the Stoners Nextdoor. Jason from Creston Kenilworth says, selling a house with malevolent spirits. We're about to sell our house and I'm worried about the spirits that live inside. Should I disclose this to the buyer? Jesus. Shannon says, have you watched any horror films? Of course, disclose that info. Don't let a poor innocent family move in and become possessed, leading to their eventual gruesome and mysterious death. Oh, my word. And then Liza in Richmond says, do you have a realtor? Contact Marissa, last name, at Weave and Seed. She's an amazing realtor and shaman.
Yeah, so a realtor and shaman in one. That's what you need.
You get a house blessing and curse removed, and you get your house sold. That's awesome. Allie says, in this town, that's a feature. All original hardwood floors and owners. Spirits intact. Oh my gosh. If you go to any Catholic church and explain this to the priest, they have a duty to come out and sort it out.
Did you know? Is that true?
I don't. You know what?
There's a TV show called Evil.
I love that show.
I know, I do too, where they do that.
Well, it is kind of a doctrine, but they don't like come out and do full on exercises. They'll do house blessings. And then, depending on the level of malevolence, they may have to move on from there. Okay. Patrick and Foster Pal. Well, maybe the spirits will follow you when you leave. Who's to say they're there for the house? Wait.
Maybe they're after you.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. You only have to disclose if a person has died in the house, not that it's haunted. A death occurring in a home is not a defect, therefore does not have to be reported to potential buyers. Okay, I really struggle with that one. I want to know.
I know, but I
want to know. You don't have to disclose it.
No, but I think you could do your own research.
You could, but I am almost certain that you actually do have to disclose hauntings.
Dina in Kings Hill says, cats do not sleep the way we think they do. The truth is, cats are interdimensional beings.
Oh.
And they regularly visit places that we cannot.
Of course they do.
Their eyes are capable of detecting wavelengths of light that we cannot see, enabling them to see energies, spirits, elementals, and more.
Okay.
The same way dogs are our guardians in the physical world, cats are our protectors in the energy world. This is why cats were regarded as sacred in ancient Egypt. Ooh, look at this picture of this black cat.
And this is why we shouldn't post when we're taking mushrooms. A PSA announcement. I can hardly wait. Can I just say out loud? I can hardly freaking wait until we can get mushrooms legally. I am so excited for that moment. Okay, so this comes from Carla in South Highlands. And it's a spiritual invite. I received a message from this guy via Nextdoor. It's an invite. No, okay, come on. Wow. Okay. I received a message from this guy via Nextdoor. It's an invite into satanic spiritual healing. Neighbors, this is disturbing on so many levels.
Really?
Please, whatever your religion or beliefs this man has, no voice here. God has us. And then Brian writes, wait a minute. You mean you can go door to door to talk about God, but I can't go door to door to talk about my satanic sex cult now with free cookies? That's so funny. I suppose there's a point there, but I mean, really, who would slide into someone's DMs and say, come to my satanic cult?
Here's kind of a long story, but I'll shorten it a bit. Okay. Brianna in Madison South says, I'm sharing my story. I come from a lot of paranormal experiences and I'm quite sensitive. However, before 2016, this event changed my life. I was turning 37 years old. For my birthday, a friend of mine took me to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, California.
Really
we did
haunted.
the ghost tour and stayed overnight in one of the ships.
No way.
I recorded the ghost tour on a digital recorder in hopes of capturing EVPs. I also recorded video where I captured orbs.
And a woman giving birth.
With the videographer.
Right.
Once we settled into sleep, I closed my eyes and began to imagine things that would help my mind fade to dreamland. But every time I chose to think of something like a field of grass, my mind would switch to something unfamiliar, like a room on the ship.
Interesting.
And I would try to force my brain to think of an object, but I couldn't. In some of the images of these rooms, the ships did not appear modern. I opened my eyes and went to the bathroom to clear my mind.
Good thing she opened her eyes first.
The ship sits in a dock with ocean water, so I shut the bathroom door because I didn't want it to creak open and scare me in the middle of the night. Once I had my eyes closed again, I was not asleep, and before I could think of anything, I saw in my mind a large staircase that spiraled down, but was against the wall. It was marble white with gold accents on the banner.
Did it say Titanic? Did you just watch a movie?
T-I-T. Then a large creature, as large as this lavish wide staircase would allow, began descending. I didn't feel threatened, but he was massive. He had a lion's head and a body with an eagle-like claws and a serpent. I think those are griffins.
But I'm not threatened.
With eagle-like claws
those
and
are
a
griffins.
serpent-like tail.
Yeah.
He did not have the wings, though. He started to come around the curve of the staircase towards the bottom. And in that instance, my eyes snapped open because of the noise in the room. The bathroom door I had shut had swung open.
Get out.
I froze and shut my eyes. The next thing I knew, it was morning, and we had breakfast and left the ship. Oftentimes, since that night, I have these moments where I believe spirits are showing me pieces of their memories. And walking down a street, I will see for a moment in my mind what it once looked like or an event they had.
Again, I go back to mushrooms. It's all about mushrooms. All right. I'm an intuitive healer.
You are?
I'm not.
Look,
I mean,
Maul's come out of the closet as an intuitive
I will come
healer.
and clear your houses. This is the title of it. I am an intuitive, and it's not healer, but here's my story. Hi, all. I've been seeing ghosts since I was little. Even then, I knew things others did not and have seen things most cannot. Knowing I was different really took a toll on my self-esteem. Since I was the outcast, I used to think that maybe I was imagining everything. Maybe I had some sort of mental illness. One thing I knew for sure is I didn't belong here. Eventually, I turned to drugs and alcohol to escape these feelings. Then, starting in 2011, crazy things really started happening. Okay, Erin, this is funny because this sort of relates to you and me. I began seeing 1111, but even more so 22, 222, 2222. I would see them so many times in a day, in so many different ways. I knew it could not be merely coincidental. Then my awakening began. So many personal experiences and synchronicities were happening. I knew for certain that the things I knew but disregarded as truth was the truth. Wow. Okay. It's a heck of a sentence. I learned why we are here, that we live in a matrix and everything. Oh, where's that cat? Where's that shape-shifting cat or the plane surfing cat? I learned why we are here, that we live in the matrix and everything we've been taught was a lie. People have called me crazy many times, but as many of those people have begun awakening themselves, have recently told me they don't think I'm crazy anymore. However, it no longer bothers me if someone thinks I'm crazy or anything else for that matter. It's none of my business what others think of me. As for my intuition, I don't like to use the word psychic. It's been misused. I'm rarely wrong. The problem is learning to not doubt my intuition. I'm learning to do that now. The most recent correct vision was not long ago. Her best friend's dad and his truck were missing since September 2020. I had said all along he was in the water. We paid 3 different psychics, 2 somewhat known and trusted. All 3 said he was brutally murdered and in gravel. A tarot reader said he was still alive. Then April 16th, a video appeared in my YouTube feed. I watched volunteer drivers looking for a suicidal teen who went missing a year ago in his mother's truck. The divers found the teen in the truck at the bottom of the lake. These divers are called by people all over the country who have missing loved ones in vehicles that may be in water. I wrote them and told them that I thought my friend's dad was in his truck and in the river somewhere between St. John's and Savi's Island. Last month, they came and found her dad in his truck within 20 minutes at the bottom, 9 feet the river in St. John's. Wow, that was a heck of a story. I think someone's been rereading Celestine Prophecy and taken off with it. But having said that, you and I both know we have experienced that numbers thing. And we have this habit of whenever we see 420 pop up randomly.
420 pops up all the time.
All the time.
I take pictures of it.
Right. So we send screenshots. Like I'm working on a proposal at work and it ends up being like $420,000. And it's just like so random. So
or my cost to park downtown in a parking space for 2 hours is $4.20.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone plans that.
I think so. I
don't believe it actually, whoever those bean counters are that set the pricing on that, they were like, oh, let's just round this up from 419.
Right.
We want it to be 420.
Exactly. Joked on us.
And this shows up everywhere. Here's a story someone posted locally. It says, bad apples. 6 months ago, I was at the Best Western in King City, and I decided to check out an abandoned building behind a dentist's office. The minute I stepped onto the property, I felt something was not right. All the apple trees were blighted, and I took some pics of the outbuilding, and this is what I saw. So look at this picture. Well, here,
Okay.
I'll give this to you.
Okay. You want me to
That's we're just going to talk about it. It's that's the zoomed in version.
Ooh.
Was this he put a circle around this window and then this creepy skull-like thing that is in the window. But
yeah, it looks like a woman almost.
Yeah, but somebody could have just put that there. It looks like it almost looks like a screen mask that could just be hanging in there.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
So it could be totally
fake.
It
could be, but you never know.
So here's the last story for today. I have someone in Kings Hill Goose Hollow named Dina. She says, who else is up at 3:40 in the morning? Since the witching hour is 3:15, I believe I was wondering who else was up around this time. In the Western Christian tradition, the hour between 3 and 4 is considered a period of peak supernatural activity, also referred to as the devil's hour, because it is a mocking inversion of the time in which Jesus supposedly died, which was at 3 p.m. Someone said, Rhonda says, I get up at 3 to make coffee and I take my meds at 4. So
seems like someone else needs to.
Does that count? All right. So that's it for this week's edition. Shout outs to our members. Thanks for being part of our group. Zachary and Argay Wilkes, Zachary in West Slope, Zareen in the downtown cultural district, Zephaniah in Cathedral Park, Zoe in University Park, and Zoe in Springville. We reached Zoe, and you know what that means. We have to go back to the beginning to announce all of the people that we missed.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thanks for being members. Rika in Kearns, Abby in Johns Landing, Abel in Hollywood, Abigail in West Cully, Adam in Irvington, Adam in Kenton, Adrian in Southeast Lentz, and Adrian in Argay. And special thanks to sound mixer Adam Michael. Until next week, guys, happy Halloween.
And remember, no matter who you are or where you live, always be nice to the Stoners next door, because you never know who they are and you never know what stories they have to tell.
The Stoners Next Door is a production of Aaron Douglas Enterprises, LLC.